wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Check, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and fine to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like them other guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring on him. Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, I'm back. Season 2, we here. Next level, bigger and better. Let's go.
See me letting go. I'ma lose control. I'm not afraid to fall. Watch me drink it in and feel it all.
8 p.m. Monday night, so you know it's time to tune in to the Afterglow show. Shout out to Kobe and the fam, you rattlers, the football historian. The audience is pouring in at this time like Jackson State playing Grambling. Both hosts like quarterbacks, but ain't scrambling. The Alcorn state of mind that I'm in got me blending in, but standing out like tiger skin. Shout out to TSU and all the recruits, turning down big schools for HBCUs. They changed up the scheme, so we changing the scenes. Money for our likeness is nice, but this means we gotta give it all that we got in this game. Black college grad myself, I went to pain. Pick, run, hit, or throw, that's your option. Discussing the coaches, wins, and the losses on the Afterglow.
See me letting go.
Scotty, you went crazy.
I'ma lose control.
Every Monday night at 8,
I'm not
super crazy.
afraid to fall.
Featuring
Watch me
Kofi and your
drink
boy
it
Scotty.
in and feel it all.
You know what time it is?
Go,
Let's
go.
You heard me. Let's
Go,
season 2.
go.
Enjoy.
Ain't nothing better, baby. Listen, I keep trying to tell y'all, man. Listen, if you don't know if you don't know if anybody got the hottest theme song than me, they don't. If you think somebody got a hotter theme, the only person that got a hotter theme song than me is Cousin Skeeter. And like, you know how I go, and you know how. Yeah, that Cousin Skeeter just used to go hard. I ain't even gonna lie. But listen, this show could be nothing without my co-host, my brother, Kobe Anyway.
What up, what? What up, what? What up, what?
You real happy today because you got to win. Yeah, you real happy today.
Bruh, if we would have lost that game, Jesus deal.
Yeah, you real happy today. It ain't no scared of you, mug, because you done won something. That's why.
We won, but we're not playing good ball right now. We're not playing good ball. In spite of all of the hype and the bandwagoning and all of that other stuff, there are some real issues that have to be addressed. But the good thing is the bye week came at the precise right time. The bad news is the next 3 or 4 games will definitely define the season. You got Alabama A&M coming up. They're going to be desperate. They're not going to beat us and brag. But they could with the way that we're playing.
Pretty good at Troy. They look pretty good playing against Troy. In the first half, they did really well.
With the way that we're playing, with the predictability of our offense, with what we're doing, Musa has thrown an interception in each of the games that he's played, and that was a trend that he had actually in the spring, which was another reason why I wasn't.
I'm a Musa fan.
Yeah, I wasn't just hung up on him. I saw the ability, I saw the anticipation, saw the potential, but the quickest way to lose a game and the quickest way to get out of a game is to turn the ball over. And Rashawn does not do that in the same fashion. I mean, he went 3 or 4 games, no matter who we were playing, without throwing an interception at all. And we got some really good defenses coming up with Grambling and improved Alabama A&M defense, as well as South Carolina State is legit.
Hey, they on a tear.
Right now, I said, legit. The floor could be 5 losses if they keep playing the way that they're playing right now. We literally could have a losing season.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if it keep going the way it's going, and y'all Bama's keep losing, I ain't coming to no homecoming. That ain't even worth my time. That ain't even worth my time. Like I'm not the HBCU fan. Oh my God, it's homecoming. I'm there to see a good football game and a good football team. And I'm saying UAPB, so you should win the game. But who knows? UAPB can take your top off. All right, but listen, we'll get more into that. But before, I want to talk about some current events. And it's something that. Nope. Before I get into current events, tailgate tour. All right, I stopped off at Southern Heritage Classics out to the Mississippi Tailgaters. Man, I'm telling you, that food was so phenomenal. It was absolutely phenomenal. I will be at FAMU in South Carolina State.
That tailgate there is off chain.
Okay, it better be. And the standard is high set by them boys down there in Southern Heritage Classic, Mississippi boys. They did it big. So I'll be coming to South Carolina State for that tailgate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be there for South Carolina State with Miss Diana, South Carolina State alum. So she set that up for me. So we'll be there and then everything. Now we did change the game up. So we were supposed to go to Texas Southern and Jack State. We decided to change that up. We're going to go to Grambling's homecoming on 11-5. All right, so we swapped those game out. So Grambling, I will be at your homecoming, Grambling. And listen.
Ooh, wow.
Everybody, that's 3 homecomings. So for anybody that got a problem with me down at Grambling, I'm going to be there. In the hole. You hear me? And you shouldn't lose because you're playing UAPB like everybody else is. So you definitely shouldn't lose the game. So
they lost last year.
Dang. Sorry. See, that wasn't even me. That wasn't even me this time. That wasn't even me. So, yep, we'll be doing that. Now, also, before I get into current events, listen, man, you guys have been bugging me about this shirt. Okay. It really wasn't supposed to be sold. It was, I love Powerline. I love Goofy Movie. It's one of my favorite movies. I made this shirt for me. Like, I'm like, hey, love Powerline, off script, let's blend it. Cool, I got it done. I got so many requests for this shirt. I'm going to drop it, but I swear for God, I'm only dropping it for like 2 days. That's it. I'm like, if you don't buy it in them 2 days, you ain't getting it, because I don't want everybody with this shirt, because it doesn't make it exclusive to me. You get what I'm saying? So I'm only selling this shirt for 2 days. If you're not part of this text message thread, or if you're not following me on social media, that's on you. I don't know what else to tell you. That's how I'm gonna promote it. I'm gonna promote it for 2 days. It's gonna be for 48 hours. And in that 48-hour window, if you don't make your purchase, it's a done deal.
Now Disney ain't gonna shut down this channel because you didn't use no Goofy.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna leave it like that. You can get it where you can get it where you can get it. It's gonna be 48 hours, and that's what it is. That's it. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm selling the shirt for 48 hours, and I'm done. And it's gonna be back to just being my shirt. All right, just want to make that very clear. So it is what it is. All right, so last but not least, now we're in current events. All right, current events. The Little Mermaid. Well, you've seen it. So you've seen it. And as we all probably have, we grew up with this movie. We've seen this movie and everything like that. It's supposed to be a remake coming out with the girl Chloe or whatever, and things like that. Listen, some things, how do I say this? Some things you can't, like, we should not culture appropriate some things. You know what I'm saying? Like how we don't want white people to do stuff that black people do. We got to be honest. Black people shouldn't be in white people's spaces. All right? Black people should not be in white people's spaces. I'm so serious with this. Like, I can't express this enough. Because
Holly Bailey,
whatever her name is. And this is what makes it so bad, is because when you see the movie and you see the cast, you're like, it don't make no damn sense. Now, make this make sense, Kofi. Now, her daddy is white, right? Ursula, white. Prince, white. Everybody else, everybody's white but her. Now, how does this, like, you can't do, like, certain things black people should not put their foot in, and this is one of them. King Triton is supposed to be her dad. Now, if you see a black Little Mermaid run up and he's smashing it, all right, whatever, cool. But this don't, like, come on, man. That's like if we did a movie with New Jack City and then white people tried to make it and it's all white people. And you're like, bro, or a Friday that's all white. Or, Living Single, which i.e. is Friends. They just did a white remake. Like, certain things you just shouldn't touch. And this is, man, Kofi, I'm so, like, this don't make no sense, bro. This don't make no sense.
Yeah, I get it. You know, it is what it is. It's Disney, and they're trying to be inclusive, and they're trying to do the whole inclusion thing. But I'm in agreement. But the thing is, they're remaking everything, bro. Now I'm gonna tell you the thing that I'm really hyped about is this darn Mufasa movie. Mufasa,
hey!
Yes, sir. Mufasa Lion King movie. Now that right there blessed my soul.
Now I'll say this. If it's like what Disney tried with the remake with Beyonce, I don't want that. I want car animated. I want it animated. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see no Beyonce voiceovers. Nah, I don't want none of that. I'm gonna be the biggest kid up in that Joker. Move over. This is not for you. It's not for you.
Yes, sir. Mufasa. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But this really set me. When I saw this, I was like, how? Like, and if you watch the trailer, the girl got dreads, she over here singing, and everybody else white. Sebastian the Crab, he colorful. He colorful, but everybody else white. Certain things, like, bro, like, I know Disney's trying to be multicultural. Certain things you just gotta leave alone. You know what I'm saying? Certain things you just gotta leave alone, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
No, it's it's Disney. They feel like they can do whatever they want to do, and they even went so far as to add an Asian girl to the darn cast. So that's Disney and the power of who they are. And guess what? People are going to freaking watch the movie. So that's what they want.
I ain't going to that crap. You can leave me all the way out. Now, also, I want listen, man. I'm not a big band guy, right? Not a big band guy. All can give two craps. But this right here. Hey, this ain't fire. I can't even fake on this thing. This ain't clean.
Let's go, sir. Let's go, sir. Let's go, sir.
Yo, hey, listen. He killed that Jake. He killed that Jake. I was like, I'm not a band guy. You know me. Listen, I can give two craps about the band. But when I saw that on Twitter, I was like, white people could never. I was like, white people could never. I was like, he hit that.
There are, just distinct. I love the expression that Southern brings with their drum major.
Yeah.
It is totally unique. They took what happens in the Big Ten with the Michigan, the Ohio States with their one drum major, and they funkified it and took it to the next level. Hey. And so I love it, man. I love it. Good stuff.
All you gonna get from the white people is like this.
Yeah,
they're gonna tip their hat.
They'll give you a little back band. They'll give you a back band. It just ain't gonna have. They ain't gonna have that wine. Hey, listen, have hip action.
They ain't gonna twirl.
Right there.
He came out with the high style.
Yes,
you ain't gonna see the boy. Listen, it was the pole for me when he whipped it around his neck. I was like,
he showed out now. Yeah, he looked at his watch too. Let's go.
You know what time it is. Let me slide that Jake.
Nice.
I like that, Jake. That was I can't fake. That was dope. That was dope.
He's next level. This guy here. In the history of Southern drum majors, I would say this guy here, Gerald Too Cold Jackson Jr., and of course Darren Celestine. That brother there was off the chain, but this guy here has stepped it up a couple of levels, man, and that's good for the juke.
That's dope. All right, so let's get into some hot topics. Listen, man, this is hot. I mean, this is scolding tea. Okay, so I don't know if anybody knows and probably got around HBCU Money Games. Deion speaks on the topic, and this is what Deion says about HBCU Money Games.
That they gave me. Marshall got $1.25 million to play against Notre Dame. Appalachian State got $1.5 million to play against Texas A&M. Georgia Southern got $1.4 million to play against Nebraska. Okay, and so forth. Now let's get to us. FAMU got $450 to play against North Carolina. Southern, thank God, you got $760. I like that. Alabama State, $590 for UCLA. You probably exhausted that in the flight going all the way across the country. Bethune-Cookman, I don't even know what their payout is. We're still trying to find out that. Alabama A&M, $300,000 as well to play against UAB. If we're going to get our butt kicked, shouldn't it be worth it? How in the world are we selling for the peanuts and the little minute droppings that they're giving us? when everybody's darn near 500,000-600,000. Should we get together and huddle up as a HBCU and say we're not playing these beat down games unless we get this? Now, don't go up under it. You can negotiate above, but have the level be 750 or $1 million. Have something. Make it worth your team's while, because you're going to lose players. You're going to lose pride and dignity when we sit up here and telling you we're just as good, but you go out there and show that we're not as good. We're not nearly as good. And then you're losing 3 to 4 players because of the type of beating that you've got. Now you got to lift them and build them back up the next week to go back there and say, you could do it this week. Forget about last week, but you could do it this week. I don't understand that. I don't understand how we allow these other schools to get these type of purses to play against the same teams that we're playing against. So who's negotiating this? Can we get together and form a committee or something and say, we're not doing it unless we get $1 million. Negotiate up, but don't negotiate down. And that $1 million should go directly to your football department. They out there getting their butts kicked. Not the rest of the school. They out there getting their butts kicked. They out there getting abused. They out there getting hurt. They out there getting injured. And now you want to spread it out amongst the school. I don't agree with that. If they out there playing, they should reap the benefits of the sacrifices that they're making. I just don't like when I'm seeing guys get 1.4, 1.2, 1.7, or whatever, and we getting peanuts. I don't like that. So that means we're not doing well business-wise. I just want to alarm you on that kind of stuff, because that's the kind of stuff I think about. And that matters to me. That's the ultimate sellout to me. So I'd rather us get together, somebody take the lead. I'll be glad to. I'm used to being in that position, and say, you know what? We're not doing it. Well, Coach Brown, it's easy for y'all to say, no, we're in the same financial situation. We're not in a better financial situation than any of the rest of everybody. We may do more. We're able to work more, and we're able to go out there and get more because we got to go get them. But when it comes to selling our kids out, I can't take it, man. It frustrates me. It angers me. It upsets me wholeheartedly. And I'm sorry for venting, but when I see that kind of stuff and I look at those stats, and it makes me mad. It really does. Because we're trying to preach that we're just as good. Then we go out there and get beat down for peanuts. Don't like it. God bless y'all. Have a wonderful day.
Well, that boy can show in something with a God bless y'all. What is your opinion on Deion's stance on money games?
The apostle of HBCU football has spoken, and I'm in full agreement with that statement. You don't know what you don't know. And unfortunately, the people that are at the table don't know, and, the presidents don't understand the value of the brand. Georgia Southern, they're in FBS, but it wasn't that long ago they were playing FAMU. Same thing with Appalachian State and these other schools. And their brand is nowhere near, to this day, their brand is not as big as Grambling. It's not as big as Southern. It's not as big as Jackson State. It's not as big as FAMU. Even though they're FBS, their brand is not as big. So it's a sin and a shame for us to lower what we've got, knowing that the band is a part of the package, and they want to see it. It's a whole entertainment thing that comes along with it, and it's our ADs that have been in I want to say, a seat of desperation to put us out there like that. And I would go so far as to say the same thing about Classic games, but I believe that Deion is dead on point, that we've got to come together with a general consensus. Ohio State did FAMU pretty good. But I agree, if we're going to play the game, we need to be getting at least $1 million.
That's not possible. Like this is my
$750 to $1 million, because we don't necessarily have to play those games.
Oh, no, you don't have. You're absolutely right. You don't have to play them, but your budget depends on it. So let's not act like it don't. Okay, not every school can pay you $1 million. That's first. Like that. Let's be real. Like UNC could have paid you $1 million. Like that's UNC can flat out pay you $1 million. ULM can't pay Jackson State $1 million.
No,
they're not the same.
And ULM is not on the same level, so you have to understand what you're
Are
negotiating.
they not
right?
FBS? No, that's not. He's talking. He said you can't have it both ways, because you have schools that don't want to play Power 5 programs like the Auburns, the Alabamas, and they don't want to play you. And then you have the UCLAs that want. UCLA should have paid them $1 million. I agree. If you're playing UCLA, if you're playing, Arizona State, if you're playing those big top
Power 5s,
if you're playing a Power 5 program, absolutely try to get as much money as you can, nothing lower than $600,000. But if you're playing Texas State, ULM, Tulane, okay then. So you can't make a general statement like that.
That's different. That's different. I think, and here's what I was referring to. I was referring to the Power 5 schools. I was referring to them.
Then that's what needs to be said then, because every school is not playing Power 5 programs. That's not what it is. You have schools like Alcorn that don't mind playing those group of 5 guys, just to kind of see where their teams are at. And you don't want to play the Power 5 guys, because that's not what it is. So if you're playing group of 5 and they're paying you $400 or $500, okay, $400, that's too easy. But Power 5, if you're paying the Power 5, absolutely, they should pay you $1 million. So it's knowing your value in that space and of who you playing, because you can't just go to every school and say, "Oh, give us $1 million." Like, no, that's not what it is. And a lot of these programs don't want to schedule you. Like, you got to also understand that as well. So it goes both ways, man. Like, I feel like at some point in time, HBCUs, y'all Bama's kill me, because y'all the same ones bitching and moaning about, "Oh my God, we're getting beat 80-0. We need to cut all money games out." And then when Deion goes on television and says we need to get our value, then it's like, yeah, when we play them, we need $1 million. Like, what do you guys want? Do you not want to play Power 5, or are you okay with getting a check? Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me.
I'm okay. I would like to see, obviously, the field level. And I think when you're playing guaranteed games, I think there is a difference, obviously, between HBCUs playing Power 5s. I personally, I like the David and Goliath opportunity there. But also understanding the brand, I think you need to have people that understand the art of negotiation, how to negotiate, and the true value and nature of the brand. If you don't understand that, you can't properly negotiate a deal. And I think for too long, this is how even HBCUs, when it comes to classic football games, have gotten into the mess that they've gotten into, because the people that are at the table don't know what they're doing, and they don't understand that.
No, I agree on that aspect, but that don't got nothing to do with white people giving you money. That's
no. If we're playing, take for instance, FAMU is playing the University of Georgia in a couple of years.
Oh, that need to be 1.5. I need 1.5.
Listen,
I need 1.5.
Straight up.
Like, I need 1.5. The discussion, we ain't even talk like if
the
it ain't
dude Southern played UGA. The dude just got restored. He's now able to walk. He was down and out for the count for 3-4 years, bro. Out. Now, UGA paid for all of that stuff. They took care of him, all of that stuff. And I'm like, bro, all of that. UGA?
If it ain't, listen, that conversation there, that's null and void. If it ain't 1 point something, I'm not playing that game. Like, there's bro, come on, man. It got to be like 1.2, 1.3. It got to be something, because I'm not
1
point something. And that's the floor. You know what I'm saying? So I understand when you take that level of Power 5, absolutely, right? Got it. But I don't want that to trickle down and to be like, oh my God, every school. No, because you guys, like, it's the crying for me, right?
Troy can't do that. Georgia Southern can't do that. Tulane can't do that. They actually could, but they can't right now. Rice can't do that. So you're not talking about them. We're talking about really the Power Five.
But that's not
UCLA and Alabama State. Bama State should have got 1 point something.
Yeah, I mean,
straight up. When
listen,
they played Auburn, they should have got 1 point something.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, this is what happens when this is the thing that kills me is people are like, yeah, Deion, yeah. Y'all don't even know your own value. You gotta take a whole, like, that's the thing that be killing me. Everybody being here, like, y'all don't even know your own value because it takes an outsider like Deion just to tell you you're pretty. It shouldn't matter if your football was good, bad, or indifferent. That's just good business. Just good business. It don't got nothing to do with football or nothing. You keep talking about how your band's so good, our band are this, our band is that. Well, know your own value. Why does it take an outsider like Deion to come in and tell you pretty? It's sad.
I agree. But, you know, again, when you have people at the table that don't know the value of the brand, and they go up there and they're happy to get any old thing, you get what you get. There's no way Fam should have played University of North Carolina for less than $500,000. That's ridiculous.
Absolutely. Because you know they sold out. They sold out.
Sold out. They got the band. They made a whole weekend out of it. And they've got plenty of money. It's a Power 5 school.
Got plenty of money. I got plenty of money. That's my drink right there.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's my drink going on. All right, let's get into the football game. Oh, no. I want to talk about. I don't know if you saw this. I got to read this. This is Ken Richard. He said, one could argue that Deion Sanders is the ultimate sellout for not being an honest broker doing his rant about HBCU payouts. HBCUs are paid the same, and in some cases more than other PWI FCS schools when they play up against FBS schools. Beware the false narrative. And this is what I'm talking about, is because, and I'm not calling Deion a sellout. That's far from what I'm saying. But my thing is, you got to understand not all the schools are going to be willing to pay Power 5. So what's the what's the tier level now? Are we talking group of 5 starts at 400,000, 500? You see what I'm saying?
FAMU's brand, Grambling brand, Southern's brand, Jackson State's brand, especially now, their brand is just as bigger than Georgia Southern. It's bigger than what was that other school? Appalachian State. As good as they have been, it just is what it is. If Appalachian State goes to Detroit to play a football game, they're not going to sell out that stadium. If Jackson State and Tennessee State go there, they're going to sell it out. Same thing in Chicago. HBCUs can go in these other markets and draw in the 50s. Georgia Southern can't do that. They can't. Georgia State can't do it. Troy can't do it. None of these other schools can do it. But these HBCUs can. And all I'm saying is when you play the Power 5 schools, specifically the Power 5s, our schools need to be getting some more money.
Just because what are we talking about right now? Just because you got people coming to the game does not make you make money. Like, I don't get what you guys listen. You guys talk about. I don't understand it. Listen, this is what kills me about y'all. You talk about brands, right? Mr. Campbell in here talking about brands. You in here talking about brands. That ain't got nothing to do with money. Because if you had a brand, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. If you felt your brand was as good as you say it was, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So what brand are you? What brand are you talking about?
Here's the deal. But again, I can't, obviously I'm not in a position of authority to talk about it. But, what I can say is the people that are at the table clearly don't have a clue of the brand. Because if they did, they'd be asking for a whole lot more. And we know this just with this, not only the Power 5, but then also what happens with our classics. We see the same thing. It's the same stuff. It's the same ignorant people making the same ignorant decisions when it comes to our HBCUs. And that's all I'm saying. We're bigger than what we've given ourselves credit for. I'll put it like that.
Let me explain to you what a brand is, right? A brand is like Apple. Doesn't matter where you go, you know what it is. Nike, you see the symbol, you know what it is. That's branding, right? You guys think because you're big regionally or you're big, however you imagine that how big you are, that makes you a brand. It's not. Most Bama's above the Mason-Dixon line do not know who you are. So brand doesn't make you any money when it comes to HBCUs. Oh, we got a brand. No, you don't. Because if you had a brand, you don't, first of all, if you had a brand, I wish you would know how to monetize it. So you don't even know how to do that right. So I don't understand this brand concept. Like, just because people know you in the neighborhood does not make you a brand. It doesn't make you a brand. You're not a national brand. Like, I don't care about, like, it in the school, the bands are there. I'll give the band, like, some of the bands, yeah, president stuff and all that type of crap. But as a school or a football program, y'all ain't got no band. I ain't got no brand, bro. I ain't got no brand. I'm sorry. Like, I ain't got no brand. Like, it's not a real brand. Like, I don't understand this stuff. Like, and for like all the exposure and brand, it don't make y'all no money. It don't make y'all.
It doesn't. It takes knowledge to make money. And my all I'm saying is the people that are at the table don't understand it. For instance, just even when you talk about the bands, right? The mere fact that there is a battle of the bands at the Bayou Classic on Fridays and the bands don't get $1, are you kidding me?
Because you're not a brand.
No, they are a brand. They're just dumb brands. Let's put it like that. People that don't understand the value of it. If these bands got this Saturday and say, you know what? We're not doing the battle of the bands. Watch what happens. We're not coming to the game.
This is my thing, right? When you associate, and I like what Dre is saying right here. When I associate a brand, I associate a price, right? When I think of Louis Vuitton, I think of expensive. When I think about Balenciaga, I think of expensive. When I think of, Lamborghini, Porsche, I think of expensive. There has to come, like, PWIs have to know, man, listen, if we want FAMU to come, it's not gonna be cheap. Like, but they don't feel like, because you don't know, because y'all don't value your own stuff. It's like, this is how y'all treat y'all stuff.
I agree with that now.
That's how y'all treat y'all stuff. Like, hey, man, we want y'all to come on. They be like, hey, man, hey, for FAMU, you know how Mr. Campbell be talking, for FAMU to leave Florida, you got to pay us money. Whatever. So UNC comes to FAMU, and they like, yo, y'all talking to UNC, like, hey, man, pay us $600K. UNC's like, yeah, whatever. We'll give you $430, $450. Oh, we'll take it. Like, that's what y'all do. You can't make me believe anything else. It should be some sort of like, yo, you want to play us? It's going to be $800,000. Take it or leave it. Like that. It's just that simple.
Let me just say this. We know that people perish for a lack of knowledge. And the people that are at the table have been smarter than our people, which is why we are where we are right now. The good news is, I think that there is an awakening, and I think that, we have to take it to the next level to understand, look, we're better than who we say that we are. We know who we are. I mean, FAMU's band has been on 60 Minutes. They've been on 2020. They've been on CBS News. They've been on a number of different platforms. They have a brand, so they've done the Grammys, for God's sake. I mean, at the same time, FAMU playing any Power 5 school, especially in the state, in the region, wherever, it still needs to be more than $450K. That's ridiculous.
But y'all got a brand, though.
No, we got stupid people at the table. The brand is the brand, but when you have stupid people at the table that undervalue it, then boom. You could package up something with off script, right, on your brand and say, you know what? No, this shirt is worth $50. This shirt is worth $75 because my brand is on it. This shirt is worth $100 because my brand is on it. Polo has a little horse on there. They put a little horsey on there, and the next thing you know, that's an $80 shirt.
Easy, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Yep. Yep. But all right, we'll move on. I know, we talk about a lot of stuff. Let's get to some football. Let's quick takeaways. FAMU 23, Albany 13. What's some takeaways for your game? I ain't watched no D2 stuff with FAMU. I assumed y'all was gonna win, so I ain't waste my time. But you can give the people some takeaways.
I mean, there's a lot of work to do for FAMU's football team. We were missing a couple of running backs. They're nursing some injuries, so they'll be back. But offensively, with the schemes that we have, it's not going to get it done against the big boys that we have remaining on the schedule. So they definitely have to step up in all phases of the game. Albany State has a physical team. I expect them to make a nice little run in the D2 playoffs. They've got their quarterback is super athletic. They are well coached. But even with that, FAMU has to pick it up in all three phases. I'm not liking they began to start to make some adjustments with what they were doing with the defense. I saw a couple of moves to try to apply additional pressure. This guy was super mobile that Albany State had, but even with that, I'm not impressed with our defense right now. I want to see takeaways. I want to see tackles for losses. I want to see people in the right position, and we're not there. And it's clear how big of an impact that Marquise Bell made on the FAMU defense. Him and Collier made on the defense last year. Like, people wouldn't even attempt to go over the top when he was back there. Now you're starting to see it all the time. People are at least trying to go deep. But DeAndre Francis, running back for FAM, played a good game. Moosa's got to tighten up. He's got to release the ball faster. He's holding on to the ball too long. And I want to see some rollouts, some more creativity, some bootlegs.
Not from the also offensive mind of Willie Simmons.
He's got to open that bad boy up, because right now it's again with the games that we have coming up. He's got to come to the realization that there's a book out on his offense. And South Carolina State is coming in with a ton of intensity because of the way we beat them last year. They've got a point to prove. Grambling has a point to prove. A&M is going to have a point to prove, because whoever loses that game is practically going to be out of the SWAC race, for good, with no chance to even think about having a postseason berth or anything like that.
Y'all's is gone. 59-3, y'all is done. Y'all is done. Ain't no point.
I ain't even talking about it. But at this point, but that's basically the takeover. We want to see some more turnovers, et cetera, et cetera. So that's that.
Okay, that's great. Like I said, I ain't want to watch no D2 game. I assumed I was going to win. Y'all did, and congratulations. I got some scores. Let's take us a look at some of the scores from week 2. Austin P demolished Mississippi Valley State 41.
I was shocked with the ease that they did it.
Hey, man, listen, that front line, Alabama A&M going to have some trouble, because that Austin P front line is legit, especially that number 93. He was killing Valley. I don't think Valley can go back for those quarterbacks and Caleb Johnson, because that O-line is really suspect. South Carolina, man, this was the shocker for me.
It wasn't no shocker for me, because this is Buddy Pugh, and like we talked about last week, we said that South Carolina State had just a more experienced team. They had more people coming back that have been used to playing together. Buddy Pugh knows how to play Bethune, even with new QBs as mobile as they are. The one thing about what's the man's name that's the starts QB for Cookman?
Jalen Jones.
Jalen has the propensity to throw interceptions from time to time and be a little careless with it. And with the way South Carolina State plays defense, it played right into their hands. He turned the ball over, and State was able to run the football. When that happens, everything literally opens up. And then you start pressing, you throw interceptions, pick sixes, all of that stuff. And the game became a blowout just largely because of turnovers and the way that Cookman played.
Yeah, I think for South Carolina State, at the end of the day, if they can establish the run, it makes it that much easier for Corey Fields, because Corey Fields is not a guy that you want to drop back and taking dropbacks 25, 30 times. He's just not that type of quarterback. And when you have Kendrell Flowers, who went for 16 carries, 153 yards, and like 2 tubs or 1 tub, I didn't expect the wide margin of victory. I thought Bethune was going to come in and really put up a fight. They have talent on offensive side of the ball. I was watching some of the game before I came on, and it just like everything that I said about Jalen Jones in the spring, it didn't look like anything had changed. He still couldn't make simple reads. He couldn't make catch and throw reads, and it's sad to see because he has so much talent, physically as a QB, but his arm talent is just not there.
Look, I will say it's the arm talent, it's the eye and the brain talent, because Jeff George had a big arm. He had crazy arm talent, but his brain was messed up. And I think that just really with the plays, both of the Cookman QBs are extremely mobile. But the problem is, in order for them to win, they're going to have to make plays in the passing game. Like, they'll convert a few third downs with it. And then when they get in the red zone, when everything tightens up, that's when they have to make those reads. That's when they've got to make those throws. They'll make a couple of big plays here and there, but can they do it consistently? And that's the thing that's missing. A methodical arse whooping from the hands of Buddy Pugh. And that's what happened.
And I got to go with Michael on this one. I think you need to make the change for Jalen Jones. I hate to say that. I'm not one. I hate to put black quarterbacks in the athlete, the athlete pile where they can't. But I think he's just too special as an athlete to not have him on the field. But at quarterback, I really think that his time is done at that position. I mean, he's had a lot of chances and he just hasn't got off the hump. So that's just for me. Other winners and losers. Listen, Grambling, big statement game. Needed it, okay? They needed the confidence going into their matchup this week. In Southern and LSU, we knew what that would be. When looking back at the game, I was actually very impressed with the offensive line of Southern. They held their own very well against that LSU front. And if you look at the game stats, their running backs averaged 4 yards a carry during the game. So I think that is a we ain't talking about Alabama A&M and UABB where you couldn't take nothing good away from the game, like not an absolute thing. But I also think that you got the silver lining of that is Southern's O-line. It looks strong. It looks together. And I think it can definitely be a force within the SWAC. What do you got, Kof?
I absolutely agree. But, again, that detail on special teams.
Oh, God.
That does it for me. When I saw the opening, I'm sitting up there like, guys, come on, man. Not the opening kickoff. Not that one. That thing shifts the entire momentum. You've got to understand the moment and bring the intensity on special teams and bring the focus and just the attention to detail. More importantly, don't turn the ball over, guys. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And listen, for Grambling, Quintarius Hawkins, he's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for me at the quarterback position. He's an athlete, okay? So when you talk about dynamic quarterbacks, he's big, he's strong, he's fast. His arm, the ball sails on him really easy. Like if he gets it going, I mean, he has some great touch, he has some great reads, and he put the ball in some positions. Once again, this team is going to be, it's still a run first team. Okay, like this is still Maurice Washington, Chance Williams, Chalk. Like they go as the team goes as they go. And Chance, Maurice, and Chalk are legit. I want to see Faison more and Wilson in this thing a little bit more. And I want to see what Tyson Boudreaux does in this system. But receiver-wise, they're big. They're big as receivers, but I just want to see as it goes forward what Quintarius Hawkins looks like, and he's going to have a big game on this upcoming week for them to be competitive in the Jackson State game. Now, game of the week, Tennessee State, Jackson State. Kofi, any takeaways, and were you able to watch the game?
Yeah, TSU had their opportunities. Jackson State's defense is obviously very, very good. But you have to be able to convert third downs. You got to be able to make plays, and most importantly, can't turn the ball over. That's that. When you're in big games, being able to commit and stick with the run, and then not only that, but just be creative with it is something that I feel like is missing. But I think people see that Tennessee State literally is legitimately very, very good. I think they're definitely a top 25 FCS team. And I fully expect them to be around at the end of the year as well, possibly as OVC champs.
Listen, man, it was an amazing game. Amazing game. Besides the broadcast, just focusing on the game. Great defensive matchup. Jackson State could do from the 20 to the 20, Jackson State was pretty much unstoppable. But listen, Tennessee State just saying, hey, man, like, you shall not pass. Like, they could not get in the end zone. And that's what kept Tennessee State even in this game. If I'm Eddie George, today my defense should have the day off. They should not have had to practice today because they put that much type of work into this game. And every time I thought they were going to fold or bend or just be too tired to make plays, they just kept coming back and making a play after another play after another play. What I realized about Jack State's team after this matchup is you can't miss opportunities, right? You cannot miss opportunities. When Tennessee State had the big play, got down on the 30, got down on the 20, you had to punch that in. You got to get touchdowns. It kind of reminds me of, playing against, those top level NFL teams, when you got a good quarterback or a good team, you can't settle for field goals while they're trying to get touchdowns. So
I agree.
You got to punch those opportunities in and make that happen. But overall, great game. I know a lot of Jack State fans had this as a blowout, but far from it. Tennessee State stood the test. They came in, played great defense, and made it what it was. All right, so I'm going to take a quick commercial. Then we'll get into some things that me and Kofi think and things that me and Kofi know. All right, right after this commercial.
Get your pickup orders at the same time as your prescriptions at Walgreens.
If you're searching online for high-quality premium cigars, look no further than slowburnwaco.com. Slow Burn is a black-owned, consistent, customer-centric cigar retailer with dope-ass cigars, featuring boutique brands and a wide variety of well-known brands.
When you order at slowburnwaco.com, Keisha and Rocky Miller will ensure that your cigars are carefully inspected before they are packaged, making sure your order arrives on time and in the best condition. So make your next move your best move and order some sticks at slowburnwaco.com.
You already know what it is. Get your sticks from Route 66. And use the promo code OffScriptTV to get 20% off. Use the promo code OffScriptTV to get 20% off. Now, Kofi, after week 2, I need 3 things you know and 3 things you think. All right? So 3 things you know after week 2.
3 things you know. Jackson State is as advertised. They are very, very good and, looking to be in position to run the table. If Grambling don't get these boys down, the next probably toughest game other than the emotional lift that Valley's going to have trying to play them, you won't see another possibility of them losing until they play Alcorn or Southern University. And between you and I, it's looking like J-State is just a whole lot better right now. Other thing we know, obviously, I want to say South Carolina State is obviously really, really good. And they're going to be a tough out, but they've still got to play out their schedule. It's a typical Buddy Pugh team. They're ready to go. And right now, I would say the third thing would be FAMU is not as advertised at the moment. And they're definitely going to have to step up in all 3 phases of the game. If they don't, they're going to have 4 or 5 losses.
I agree on your first one. I'll take that. Jackson State is as advertised. I'll say 2 and 3 for me is the quarterback play in HBCU football is few and far between. Listen, man, if you don't got a quarterback, it's not too much you can do in this world, in this football landscape. And number 3, the coaching in the SWAC is just not up to par for me. It really, I mean, the more I watch, the more I just shake my head like, wow, this is it. This is what people are getting paid $200,000 and $300,000 for, to come in here and put this on display or to do whatever they decide to do. So, yeah, coaching in the SWAC, coaching in HBC football is not the highest quality as I was hoping for this year. I thought with the talent upgrades and everything, I'm just like, okay, there should be an influx of just like schemes and just creativity, because the talent is there. You know, like now you got the talent that you've been asking and looking for, and it's still not there. All right, 3 things you think after week 2.
I'm thinking that if Grambling can consistently get a running game, they're going to be in the running for real in the West. They're going to be a legitimate threat. And one of the things that I said last year was they beat Southern University last year without a coach. So Southern didn't have their head coach. Grambling didn't have their head coach. And Grambling still found a way. They've upgraded their talent on both sides of the ball. And if they can establish an identity and find a way to play tough and get a couple of victories under their belt, they're going to be right in the mix, definitely to take over the SWAC West. I think Prairie View is a lot better than people are getting. Yeah, they're predictable. They are predictable, but I think people, you know, even with the raggedy quarterback play that they have right now, they're still going to be in positions to win games because their ability and commitment to, in fact, run the football and play good, solid defense. And if they can do that, they're going to put people in bad positions. People are going to make mistakes, and they're going to be tough to stop. I think point 3 is going to be, I'm going to say Alabama State has the potential, obviously, to step up. I was happy to see that UCLA did not break the 50 mark against them, which I think is a plus. Especially with the talent level that UCLA had, or I believe that they have. But Bama State's trench play is pretty good. And if they can get some consistent play, they're going to be quite formidable coming down the stretch.
First one, I think that Jackson State won't go undefeated. I'm still going to hold out on that one. I think the MEAC is going to come down to the North Carolina Central game and the South Carolina State game.
Absolutely.
And I might have to change my schedule up because I really want to be there for that game. I think it's going to be that crazy. And I think the SWAC West is going to be it's going to be
burner. It's going to be a barn burner.
I think it's going to be like who's the worst, who's the best worst. Like that's why I feel like that's what I feel like the West is going to be if I
Now my favorite in the West right now is Alcorn.
Really, for me it's still Southern.
My favorite is Alcorn. I think Southern has the physicality, obviously up front. Does Southern host Alcorn again?
Yes. Alcorn has to go to Southern.
That's gonna be it right there.
Yeah,
that's gonna be it right there.
And I'm gonna be at that game.
That's gonna be big.
All right. So listen, let me go to the next. I need your SWAC power rankings for week 2, and then we're gonna go HBCU power rankings after week 2.
J State 1, Southern University 2, Grambling 3. How many we got? We doing 5?
Yeah, just 5.
Okay, Grambling 3, Alcorn 4, and Prairie View 5.
I go J State 1, Alcorn 2. I kind of seen what they are. I still haven't seen what Southern is. I'll go Southern 3. I'll go. Jesus, man. I'll go Grambling 4. I'll go PV 4, Grambling 5. That's how I'll do it like that. I got to give PV his credit. They played Abilene Christian really well. They dominated Texas Southern. So I gotta put them up there, and I'll go Grambling 5. I just think because of the talent that they have. But I mean, it could have been Alabama State right there. You know what I'm saying? It literally could have been Alabama State as my 5th pick as well. But That's what I'm going with. J State 1, Alcorn 2, Southern 3, PV 4, Grambling 5. Now your week 2 HBCU power rankings, and people in the chat, you can drop your 4 as well. I mean, you can drop your 5 as well in the chat, and if I like it, I'm gonna pull it up on the screen. But go ahead.
J State 1, South Carolina State 2, Tennessee State 3, Alcorn 4th, Southern 5.
Oh my God, the disrespect to North Carolina Central is real. Yeah, the disrespect is real. J State 1, North Carolina Central 2. I mean, they've had some. They beat their big brother. You got to give them full kudos. And South Carolina beat an unproven Bethune-Cookman team. So definitely got to go Tennessee State 3, South Carolina State 4, and 5. I got to go Alcorn. Alcorn 5.
Who did you have as 2?
North Carolina Central.
Okay.
Yeah. North Carolina. You got to listen, man. Like they got. I mean, they got 2.
They're legit now. They're legit. They've got a complete team. I'm not doubting them at all. It's just that right now I think that Tennessee State would beat them. I think that South Carolina State is going to beat them. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I just to leave North Carolina Central off of them. I mean, leaving them off your list to me, when they beat their big brother. I think I just you gotta give them a lot of kudos for that.
But A&T's not that good this year, I don't think.
But it's not. It's just the mental hurdle of beating a team that has beat you down for so long. Like that game to me meant more of a statement piece for Central than it will ever mean for North Carolina A&T. They like, hey, we supposed to beat y'all. But for Central to make that jump over them, you got to give them credit. And then to come out, unlike y'all, and beat a D2 team like you're supposed to beat them, 41-0. That's how you make a statement.
They're legit now.
They're legit. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? I definitely think North Carolina Central deserves to be up there. They definitely made a pause. It's hard for me, and listen. Tennessee State played a great game, but it's just hard for me to put them at 2 with 2. They're 0-2. Both of those games were winnable for them. Both of those games were winnable, and they didn't come out and do it. So, at some point, you gotta hold people accountable. Week 3 matchups. All right, here's some week 3 matchups. You got Prairie View, Incarnate Word, Austin P, A&M, Alcorn, and McNeese. What we rocking with? Talk about some of these matchups.
All right, Incarnate Word is going to beat Prairie View. Austin P is going to beat A&M.
Facts.
Alcorn, we need you to pull through on this one now. You came close. Y'all got to come over the top and find a way to pull this out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with McNeese State in this game. Is that it? What's the other ones?
Oh, it's some other ones. Let me go. PV, you had a good run. All right, listen, you had a good run. Had some wins, had some close games. You had a real good run, but I still think your defense is legit. Do I think you're going to get put 50 on? No, I don't think they're going to put 50.
They don't have the same QB that they had, and that guy's up at Washington State, right?
Yeah, Cameron Ward. But Austin P, listen, that front line is legit. Alabama A&M, I feel bad for those QBs. I don't care if it's X or my boy Quincy Casey. They're going to be running for their lives. And Alcorn, listen, you got to put on for the swag. You got to put on for the swag for this one.
We need this game, Braves.
McNeese is undefeated against the swag. No matter how bad McNeese is, they know they can get a win against the swag, okay? So, like my boy WTOO said, McNeese is 16-0 against the swag. They gotta come through for.
Come on, Alcorn.
Also for week 3 matchups, we already know.
Next.
All right, and we got Grambling JSU. So let's go into a little deeper. Kofi game of the week. Talk about
this is everybody's been looking for Hugh Jackson to go into Jackson and make a claim to SWAC territory. Put up that Grambling flag. The reality is it's not gonna happen yet because Grambling's QB play is not where it needs to be. But if Grambling can find a way to establish that run and play good, solid defense and put pressure on Shedeur, I think that they've legitimately got a chance. What they can do is turn the ball over. And as we stated earlier, they've got to take advantage of the chances that they're going to get, but they got to play hard for all 4 quarters and not be dumb.
I'm doing a film breakdown on Grambling tomorrow. I'm trying to get all stuff together. I'm gonna make this pick with Mike on Wednesday. Listen, man. I said this after the post game show. Grambling got to score a touchdown. That's my floor. Like, that's my floor. You just got to score a touchdown. Like, I mean, with Hugh Jackson, like, offensive guy. I like some of the sets I saw against Northwestern. Some of the formations that he did, I really, really liked. I think this is what I think that Grambling is going to try to do. And I think based off formational alignment, they're going to try to put Jackson State in a situation. What I mean by that is you're probably going to see some weird formations, tight ends out wide. You might see, a diamond formation with receivers. You're going to probably see some empty. You're going to see a bunch of stuff because you just got it. You got to make Jackson State declare what they're in. That's the whole bucket of it. You got to make them declare what they're in, and we'll see how it goes. But this is definitely a game I'm interested to see. But it is not my game of the week. My game of the week is Texas Southern against Southern. Okay, my boy Andrew Buddy. All right, Andrew Body against Southern. Now, let me explain to you why this is my game of the week. It's because this is the first time we'll see what Southern is. They played Florida Memorial, the high school. They beat them by 86. They played LSU. They got beat down. So this should be a small barometer of what this game should look like. Now, I know Texas Southern is coming in with some – listen, I did earlier – my Baller Awards and my Should Have Stayed at Home Awards, and I put Texas Southern coaching in a triple pad cellar. Okay, they're trash, absolutely trash. But Texas Southern did go into Southern last year and beat them. So
yeah, this is different.
Well, they got 1-0. Andrew Body is 1-0 against Southern. Let's just make that very clear. All right, so I'm excited to see what this game looks like. I'm excited to see what I see from Andrew Body, and hopefully, Clarence McKinley and David Marsh can get their head out there, and coach a game. So this is my game of the week. So don't ask me about Jack State and Grambling because I'm not putting that on my channel. It is Texas Southern and Southern over here, baby.
All right. So, in Stevie Wonder's song, Do I Do? And at the end of the song is breaking down until it gets to the end. And say, Earl's playing by himself, man. Earl's playing by himself, man. Andrew Body's playing by himself, man.
He is a little bit.
Body's playing by himself, man.
Yeah,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He cannot beat Southern by himself. He can't. And it's and the fact that Dooley has experience against to Texas Southern personnel. He knows them quite well. He's not going to be taken off guard. Southern's going to be playing on all cylinders. This game is in Baton Rouge, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Andrew Body's a bad boy. He's not going to be able to do it by himself. Southern's going to win by 21.
Okay.
I love Andrew Body. I want him to do well.
No, you don't. No, you don't love Andrew.
I really do.
I love
do. I'm gonna tell you. Let me say this: the thing, and I know you're not a band dude, but one of Southern's assistants is the band director at Texas Southern. So this is a much anticipated game in the SWAC as people look to see the Texas Southern come in full force. This is going to be a big. Okay, so it's in Arlington. Okay, Southern's still gonna win. Especially with the fact that Texas Southern beat them last year. I just think that's the fact that Dooley is a better coach than the guys that they have at Texas Southern. Texas Southern had somebody else. I would feel more confident in going with them. But this guy, I'm not convinced that he's the one. So there you go.
The fact that you're talking about the band and the football team, I'm good. All right, Southern wins if they dominate the line. Southern dominates the line of scrimmage on both sides. They get to body, and they dominate the time of possession. All right. Texas Southern wins if you can keep Andrew Body protected. They stay balanced between passing and running, and the defense puts pressure on McCray. All right. So go ahead, Goff.
JSU wins if JSU plays fast. They keep it simple. They maintain their consistency, intensity, and get turnovers. They keep playing the way that they've been playing. They'll be fine. Gramblin's going to win. Basically, if they can really establish themselves in the trenches and be physical, they can run the ball. And pressure number 2, they can put pressure on Shadur. That's really the key. Obviously, you got to stop the run, but it begins by putting pressure on Shadur, making him uncomfortable.
Absolutely. All right. Let's see. That is it for this. So call lines are open. Listen, all the people that wanted to call in earlier about the Deion stuff, you can now call in. Call lines are open. Let me see. HBC 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. I got my timer. All right. See, look, bam. All right. I got my timer. I'm ready for all you Bamas out there. All right. My girl was like, we're not doing this no more. So I got my timer ready for you Bamas. All right. JB, you live. You got 3 minutes. Timer's on.
Okay, I'll be brief, gentlemen. Okay, first of all, shout out to thanks for mentioning D2 earlier. Shout out to D2 Virginia Union beating number 2 in the country, Valdosta State.
Shout out to them. Yep, shout out to them.
Yes. Okay, regarding the Deion conversation. Okay, number one, we all know that payouts are different for us, like FBS versus FBS money games, FBS versus FCS. We're talking about P5, G5, D2, FCS money games. They're all different kind of payouts and whatnot. And I would hope that the fans in general spend some time to actually see how these amounts are actually negotiated in the first place. It's not just about brands, it's about other stuff that goes with that. I guess the other part is number 2, and we're trying to keep this under time. The average payout is around $450,000. We're talking about P5 versus FBS or FCS. Matter of fact, I go to what Ken Rashad had said. His quote regarding the sellout point, that part was wrong. Everything else is pretty much spot on. Matter of fact, the higher FCS payout rates that schools have gotten have been from HBCUs. We've gotten the higher dollar amounts. So for things that say we're getting undercut is sort of misleading a little bit. And also there's also one thing that I would hate to have happen. I would hate for people to say, okay, we ain't going to play these games once we're getting X amount of dollars. So then you end up pricing yourself out of the money game conversation. And then some other schools that end up taking that 400, 500 grand that we think we're quote unquote too good for. And then we're back to quote unquote not having stuff anymore. Or then you'll say, man, it's racist. It's like, no, you're asking for money that schools are willing to pay you. And then speaking about money games part, I thought Deion was against money games. I thought I didn't like them. So maybe I missed it. And that's a conversation for us. I've had directed. Matter of fact, since we're on ADs, maybe we should find out how much his AD paid to have Edward Waters and Delta State come in and play Jackson State, along with some of the other schools that are complaining about the payday games they get. They host these D2 schools. How much are these SWAC and MEAC schools paying for these D2 schools to come in or NAI schools to come in and beat the brakes off them? But we don't want to have that conversation. So anyway, I think I'm under time. I'll let that go.
All right, appreciate it, JB. Appreciate the call. Listen, man, at some point in time, like you gotta take, like I say, I'm not for the picking and choosing, but nobody complains when them D2 schools come up, them NAIA schools come up, and they get their butt whooped. Nobody crying wolf then. But when it's on the other side,
I think that, just the lack of awareness, the casual fan is not going to know what an FCS school plays or pays a Division II school. But I think it's worth having that discussion because we're having a discussion about everything else. So it is what it is.
No problem. I want to get to this comment. Scotty, the Little Mermaid's fantasy is all make believe, anything goes. See, I have a problem with this because we can't, as black people, we can't cry for representation in stories and then say it's make believe and anything goes.
It needs to make sense. It needs to make sense in this day and age. It needs to make sense.
Come on, let's not.
I get the fantasy, but it needs to make sense.
Come on, man. Like everybody wants to see representation of themselves in a cartoon, in a story, or whatever. So let's not play that game like, oh my God, it's fantasy. I freaking love Princess and the Frog. Do you hear me? I can watch that by myself because it's great representation of a black person. You know what I'm saying? But let's not act like, oh, fantasy, all that type of stuff, whatever. All right, 1531 coming to you live. Timer is on.
What's going on, Scotty? What's going on, Kobe?
What's good?
What's up?
I actually wanted to call in and talk about something similar to this comment right here. I wanted to just I want to make a statement, get y'all thoughts on it. I personally feel like the need for diversity, like as far as in the entertainment industry nowadays, has started to be a little bit overstated. As a 90s kid myself, I honestly can never say, I never spent a day of my life feeling like I couldn't be Batman. Nobody ever told me I couldn't be the Red Ranger, like stuff like that. So I always had an issue. And like personally, it's like, okay, everybody loves Black Panther. Honestly, a Black African king doesn't make me as a Black American feel seen, but that's a different thing. I feel like when it comes to diversity, I would personally like to see like more diversity of thought when it comes to these Black writers' rooms, when it comes to our Black thought leaders, when it comes to film. I get tired of seeing the woe is me story and the we shall overcome all the time. That's why I know that there are more examples out there, but I personally truly appreciate Issa Rae because she makes things just about the typical day in the life of a Black person.
Yeah.
And we don't get that.
Yeah.
So when it comes to diversity, I'd rather see that like in our writer's room and when it comes to our thought process, when it comes out to putting out things in the media. And that's all I wanted to say and hear you all talk about that.
Hey, man, that's a great point, bro. Appreciate
That's huge.
Like, I mean, go ahead,
Shonda Rhimes is beast.
wait a minute now. Hold on. You gotta call Shonda Rhimes like she's great at what she does, but she loves some white people. Let's not play. Let's not play. Now, I agree with. I love Scandal. I do. I love Scandal like the next person.
How to Get Away.
You know what I'm saying?
Great shows. What was that hospital show she did? Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. You know what I'm saying? So she listen. She's gonna have a Black main character in her stuff. I do agree with that. I think, but she's a great writer. But let's not act like she's doing all Black cast and stuff like that. Like
because she is a writer, she can attack certain issues from a writer's perspective. Like when she talked about the whole police brutality thing, she put that out there. When she talked about the Trump election, Shauna State giving Black people white spouses.
That is so true.
It is true.
It is so true, bro. That's so true. It is, bro.
But, at the same time, she's in a position to influence the mindset of millions of people, how they portray or see Black people and how we see ourselves. So she's in the room. So being in the room is key. Will Packer, Tyler Perry, all of these people are in positions of power, and we weren't in these positions 30 years ago.
Listen, I know a lot of people give Tyler Perry a hard time because of the stereotypes, but that boy gonna put he gonna put people on. A lot of people that have started in his plays have definitely gone through the ranks and now have become, B-list actors and things like that, and some A-list actors and things like that. So listen, you can say what you want about Tyler Perry, but he gonna put some all Black cast together. All right. So you gotta give respect. And I respect Shonda because she knew her value. ABC wasn't doing it right. She like, hey, I got y'all hit shows. That's me. I did that. She took her stuff and dipped out. So I give Shonda her props for knowing her value and going to get her value. But she do be, man, listen. Hey, Maria Scott hit that, Jake. Shonda, stay giving Black people white spouses.
All day.
Can I get some Huxtable? Can I get some Huxtable love out here? You know what I'm saying? Right. Can I get a doctor and a teacher or a doctor wife or whatever? Can I get some of that? Mr. D, coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
Hey,
Hey, what's going on, Scotty? How you doing?
I'm good, Mr. D. Talk to me.
Good, good. Now, I want to have a discussion with you about this brand. Okay. I disagree with you on the branding of these schools. One, schools do know their brands. For example, FAMU, Southern, when they're going out to play these PWI schools, those schools are begging when they're trying to do the deal. They always say, make sure you bring your band. Now, what I think the schools should do is they should separate the buckets of money that's coming in. For example, if they say, okay, if say FAMU got $450 to come the game, you paying the school to play the game $450, and we need another $450 for the band to participate. That's how you expand your brand, because these schools got to understand how to increase their revenues. And the issue is with Kofi is saying about the people at the table, the ones that's negotiating these contracts are the legal affairs department for the school and the athletic department. Those are, so the athletic department goes in, negotiates the deal, and then the legal department is actually putting the contracts together after the deal has been made. So the issue is these athletic departments need to separate their branding money or the money games, and should be a money plus band. So Southern Band should have gotten the same amount as the school got too. So that's why I think the different. What's your thoughts on that?
I still think you don't have. I agree with you. I think the bands have more of a brand over the schools, because I like, the Marching 100 makes FAMU relevant because people know the Marching 100. And they know the Marching 100 is at FAMU. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you never knew about the school, but you know about the band, so now you're like, where's this band from? Oh, this band's from Jackson State. So I think the bands probably have the biggest brand out of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, I just haven't.
Well, let me say, I've told Kofi this. When FAMU went to Paris and played for Louis Vuitton, right now I would call FAMU the Louis Vuitton branded band. If you want the band, it should be $500,000, no matter what. In addition to paying the school, the band needs its own money.
Listen,
it's a catalyst. You got to have, like, FAMU is probably the only band that can come out and say, we want $500,000 to perform anywhere we go.
Southern and Grambling.
You agree?
I have no problem with that. I really don't have because listen, it's no different than in real life. Once you build your resume up, your resume speaks for itself, right?
Yeah.
Once I touched down and I did anything, if Louis Vuitton ever asked me to do anything and they sponsor my show, best believe if you ask for all script, you better know that Louis Vuitton has just raised my price. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
But you
got now, Kofi, what do you think?
Oh, I'm in full agreement. I've been saying that. But it's important to have people at the table that know what they're talking about and know how to negotiate. And, right now, at our HBCUs across the board, we don't have people at the table that understand that. Once you put your pen to paper, it's a wrap.
That's right. Okay. All right. See you later.
Hey, no problem. You gotta go. But that I agree, to a certain extent, your resume speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? And I don't agree with this. You're worth what somebody's willing to pay. No, you're not. You're worth what you're willing to accept. Thank you, God. You're worth what you're willing to accept. If somebody offers me $100,000 and I feel I'm worth more than $100,000, I'm not going to accept that. That is beneath me. Now, if you miss out on that, that's just on you. But if you believe in who you are, what you do, and what your brand is, you don't sell yourself short. So it's not with somebody, because I could be, just because my pockets are small doesn't mean Kofi's pockets are small. That's a wrong mindset to even be in. You know what I'm saying? So if UNC offers me $500,000 and I say no, That's just because UNC don't want to pay $500,000. That don't mean Duke won't pay $500,000. That don't mean, you know what I'm saying, University of South Carolina won't pay $500,000. Miss me with that, man.
Look, so people got mad at Tasha Cobbs, right? Because she had a certain amount that was her guarantee to do a show at a church. You know, and people like $20,000 to say one song. She understands her brand. She understands what she's bringing to the table. Same thing with when we had Kim Burrell to sing with us at our show. She sang Devil is Mad. She sang 2 songs for $5,000. 2 songs, $5,000. She understands her brand. When Dr. Bynum, back in the heyday, was talking about, you know, she was preaching all over the country, XYZ, and going these different spots, she wasn't going everywhere. She was like, you know, obviously she'll say God told her, right? God told me, blah, 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 XYZ, right? But listen, she could raise her offering. She understood that if she was going to come in the building, you're talking about $1 million plus offering that's going to take place in the house. Way over $1 million. So to understand that, and respect that, there's places that she was like, no, I don't think you all are ready to have me here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to, you know, respectfully decline your invitation. You know, and then there are other places where she's gone. But if she goes someplace small, it's just out of her discretion to do it. But my point is, understand what you're negotiating. Understand what you're negotiating. Listen, and understand the brand.
It's a thing in the military. We call it reverse planning, right? Reverse planning. So you start with the end result and you work back to the beginning. If I'm FAMU or any band out there in my life, I reverse plan. I know it takes me $200K to move my band. So the minimum the minimum for me to move has got to be 700, 500. Like, it doesn't make sense because I know I'm only walking away with 300 because I got to take the expenses out. So it's reverse planning. Like, okay, if I get 800, 200, 600, it's just basic math. That ain't hard math. You know what I'm saying? It's just basic stuff. Don't try to, it cost me 200. Hey, give me 250. What? That don't even make, what? That don't make no sense. But let me get to these callers because they're coming in like hotcakes. 5896 coming to you.
Like and share.
Hey, caller, you loud. Talk to me.
Hey, Scotty, what's going on?
What's up?
Now I'm gonna have to disagree with you on the brand part because you just said that don't nobody know HBCUs outside the Mason-Dixon line, right?
Facts.
I think that's totally false.
That's not.
Because you go look at the bigger cities. You look at the bigger cities, California, Chicago, New York. HBCUs are very known in those cities.
Because the people from HBCUs have moved out of HBCU country and gone up to North. That doesn't make you well known. That doesn't make you well known. That just means some people live up there that know about you. Come on, bro.
No.
Stop it.
No.
Stop it.
Because if that's the case, then okay, I'm gonna just use this. Grambling and Jackson State were known first for football, period. Then came later on down the lines. Then came the band schools like FAMU, Southern. That's when, you know what I'm saying. But you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I agree with you and I disagree with you.
You know how people. Listen. Let me ask you a question. Is your great grandmother living?
Yes.
Your great grandmother's living? Is your great grandmother?
My great grandmother is living.
No, I said double great. I said your great is your great.
No.
She's died, right? That knowledge of that whatever she knew at that time has passed off. Now she's probably given it to some people, but it's died off. That's what happens when you talk about Grambling in the 80s, in Jackson State in the 80s. Some of those people who lived in that era are not alive now. You're talking about kids who are in the 2000s who are living. Kids who were born on September 11th, right? They are literally, that's all they know is the past 20 years of their life. So they don't know what happened in Jackson State in the 80s and the 90s. They don't know anything about that. So Stop acting like you guys is like, oh man, the SWAC does a horrible job of even promoting its own history. Why? Because they don't do any shows or they don't show any old clips of Walter Payton playing in Jackson State. They don't even show old clips of Mississippi Valley doing stuff like that. So what are we talking about, man? You're not knowing about the Mason-Dixon line. Can we move on?
Yeah, with that whole known above, who are you saying don't know?
The people above the people outside of HBCU.
Black people, white people, are you talking about?
It don't matter. If you are we only brand so you want to be known by only black people? I'm asking.
No, I'm just asking. I want to be clear.
I know
what you're saying. I just want to be clear.
And barely black people. I won't say barely black people. Okay. I would say if we're doing a measurement, it'll be like maybe like 40% of black people above the Mason-Dixon line know who you are, and 60% don't. But then people below the Mason line is like 80% of them know. And then 20% might not know. Probably 90% of them know. You guys are a regional-based brand. Like, it's a Southern thing.
Yeah, many. I'll agree to.
You think, okay, that's like, okay.
You got a minute. You got a minute left.
Okay, like I went to Jackson State, right? Okay.
Congratulations.
You got to think about it. When I went to Jackson State, we had so many damn people from Chicago, Ohio, even New York, even in your Maryland area. I'm talking about people from overseas. All came. They know
how many people are in your class? How many people? How many people were in your class? How many people were in your class?
What you mean?
How many? That's a simple question. You got a Jackson State education. How many people were in your class? Your freshman class. How many people were in your freshman class?
2003.
A lot of people. Good night. Thank you, sir. Like, stop playing with me right now, man. We had so many people from up north. You got a class of 2,000 people. That's so many people. Man, miss me with that, bro. Miss me with that. All right. Let me see where I'm going with this. Mr. Nash, coming to you. 2723. Coming to you.
Hey, Scott, how you doing, man?
What's up? Your clock's on.
Okay, all right, Scott. Okay, Power 5. Scott, I do agree. We should not be playing in Power 5 schools. The LSU game and Southern game was a joke. It was like varsity playing junior varsity. And it's not. And when Southern played Georgia a few years back, the people down there in Georgia didn't know nothing about Southern. You were right. They did. They knew about, and they gradually started knowing about the band. Okay. Then let's look at the JSU out of conference schedule. I'm asking you a question. Who has the weakest out of conference schedule in the SWAC?
Jackson State.
Okay. And then tell me, everybody know why Nuggets not playing? Everybody know why he's not playing?
They said because he's been late to study hall. His dad called in earlier today and said he was late to study hall.
My question to you is, Shador late for state hall, will he be playing?
Listen, you try to get me in trouble. What's up, Mr. Nash? You try to get me in trouble.
Okay. All right. Offensive. I was at the game when Alcorn played Stephen F. Austin. Offense coordinator just got our coach. Second half, we played like we was behind. We abandoned the run. The running back was killing. He abandoned the run. And you're right about the SWAC, the coaching in the SWAC. I was expecting more, and it's just not there. It's just not there at all. And people get offended when you say SWAC is part one, but you telling the truth. It's just a totally different game. I was watching LSU and Southern. It was like varsity playing junior varsity. It wasn't a game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to see competition. I don't want us to play Power 5, but mid-majors like Jacksonville State, Kennesaw State, or Georgia State.
I agree with that. I'd rather see more games like that than playing Power 5, but we understand what it's for. It's for to fill the budget. You know what I'm saying? You gotta listen, when you're broke, you gotta do things to get money. It's just that simple.
Can we play them in basketball?
Can we play them in basketball?
We're already playing them in basketball.
They play a lot more schools than go ahead. My bad, go ahead.
We're already playing in basketball. The issue is our leadership and administration has to invest across the board more than what we've been doing if we're going to be competitive or win a lot of these games. The reality is, here's the thing, especially let me just talk about my school, okay? with my school, all that craziness that happened with compliance, with all of the things, the crazy things that were going, the treatment of the players, this happened to the marquee team on the campus. Imagine what happens with the Durham basketball team, with the softball team, with the baseball team, with these other squads. And until you have an administration that really gives a hoot about the student experience, the student athlete experience, or really gives a hoot about understanding how we can increase the brand by winning a lot of these games that are winnable, or recruiting a better quality athlete, we're not going to get it. We have to invest more, and that begins with our leadership.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you, man.
Hey,
I appreciate
no
it. Good show, Scott. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Mr. Nash. 5240. I think this is N.O. Joe. You live, N.O. Joe.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Real quick. The people that are talking about HBCU as a brand, let me tell y'all something. I'm born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. Growing up, it was only 3 HBCUs I knew about. Southern, Grambling, and Jackson State. Now, I've been staying in Atlanta for damn near 20 years, and I ain't never heard no HBCU Celebration Bowl, Cricket Bowl, or whatever. So people talking about HBCU as a brand. Nah, it's a brand to people that went to HBCUs. That's who it's a brand to. Now, on the other thing, I heard Ken Clark say this here. We're talking about these money games. Kofi, how many seats do FAMU sit? Your stadium sit?
We had 33,000 against Grambling last year, but the average seat, the basic seat is 25,500.
He said 25.
Say again?
He said 25.
25. Now, just imagine if you charge $100 per ticket for every ticket for homecoming, because everybody say they love HBCU so much, so $100 shouldn't be a problem. How much money would that be? $100 per ticket times 25,000. How much money is that, Kofi?
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. 20 million?
Huh?
That's 20 mil.
2.5 2.5 million.
2.5 million. 2.5 million. There go your money right there. You don't have to pay no gas. You talking about they love HBCU so much. Let me tell you something. I could take $500 and buy 3 season tickets from an HBCU. $500 I can take and buy 3 season tickets from an HBCU. I'm gone, boss. That's all I want to put out there.
Appreciate it, N.O. Joe.
That's good.
Listen, man. Like, listen, when it's like me, right? If I was from Maryland, this is how I look at HBCUs, and I keep saying this. I love go-go, right? If I was like, yo, go-go is nationally known, Kofi, you'd be like, bro, we don't listen to go-go in Florida. We don't listen to go-go in Louisiana. We don't listen to go-go in Texas. Like, that's what HBCU football is. It is Swisher House in the 2000s. It's UGK in the early 2000s. It's Little Boosie in the 90s. Like, let's not play these games like you guys are nationally known. You are local to what you are, and it's okay. Listen, UGK were millionaires before they went national. I'm not saying you can't make money being regional. It's okay. There's a lot of Texas rappers you have never heard of, and they make a lot of money in their city, in their state. Little Boosie was a millionaire out of Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas before he went national. So it is what it is. Like, it's okay to be regional. Just monetize accordingly. You know what I'm saying? So and then once you grow, whatever you grow, and it gets bigger, it just gets bigger. You make more money. But if you're not making, oh man, listen, that's my guy right there. That's my guy. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the thing is, Georgia Southern is regional.
They ain't out here talking about we national brand. Like, they not saying that.
They're regional, but they got paid $1.5 million. Troy, again, that's the point. You know, you're talking about another regional brand. App State is regional. They're not a national brand like a Michigan or Ohio State or Notre Dame. They're regional, but they got paid $1.5 million to play Texas A&M.
Yeah.
They're regional, and they got paid.
Good business, man. Good business.
That's all I'm saying. The people that are at the table know what they're doing.
0208 coming to you. I've never seen this number before. I want to hear this. Hey, caller, you live.
0208 coming to you. I've never seen this number before. I want to
Hey, 0208, you live. Turn
what y'all doing?
Turn your background down, man. Turn your background down. I gotta mute you. Turn your background down for me, please.
You hear me now?
Nah, you got it. You're still,
you hear me now?
It's still too loud. Your background. You gotta turn it off.
You hear me now? You hear me now? All right, you hear me?
We can hear you. Just turn the background. We hear the show in the background.
Oh, shit. My bad.
All right.
Hey, y'all hear me now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, my bad. But hey, I'm from Indiana. Though. But I agree with you saying, Scotty, about the brands. But I'm always used to knowing about HBCUs, about the classes down in Indianapolis, about going down there. And we only knew about the bands and stuff. We ain't nothing about the football. You just spend your money about to go see the bands and all that. But what I want to say about the Power Fives and the money games and stuff like that, we shouldn't be playing Power Five. Teams should be playing like mid-majors and stuff like that, playing somebody that's reasonable, somebody that's willing to pay that money. Because, right now, not everybody going to play that $1 million and stuff like that. You only got like the Jackson States or the Gremlins or FAMUs or Southerns that probably play that $1 million, but it'll be something like playing LSU again. But in my opinion, I feel like just play like a mid-major, play somebody in the FCS realm, and just see how y'all doing. Just like how our current played SFA.
Yeah.
That's a good game to play. You know what I'm saying? Other than trying to play some game that's like you trying to get the bag and you hurting your players and stuff and hurting their players' minds and stuff like that. But that's all I want to say. Shout out to y'all stuff, and I like to subscribe. Y'all, I listen to y'all all the time.
Hey, man, appreciate the call, man. Real talk. Listen, man, you got listen, I'm gonna let HBCUs do what HBCUs do. All right. We're gonna take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I'm gonna show you a picture, then we're gonna get right back to these callers. All right. So we'll be right back. Get the lights up.
Get your pickup orders at the same time as your prescriptions at Walgreens.
If you're searching online for high-quality premium cigars, look no further than slowburnwaco.com. Slow Burn is a black-owned, consistent, customer-centric cigar retailer with dope-ass cigars, featuring boutique brands and a wide variety of well-known brands.
When you order at slowburnwaco.com, Keisha and Rocky Miller will ensure that your cigars are carefully inspected before they are packaged, making sure your order arrives on time and in the best condition. So make your next move your best move and order some sticks at slowburnwaco.com.
Get your sticks from slowburnwaco.com. I want to show a quick picture. I'm gonna put this on the t-shirt. Listen, it's coming. Okay, it's definitely coming. If you think I ain't playing, I'm definitely putting this on the t-shirt sooner or later. Somebody sent this to me. I'm not gonna say who. Somebody sent this to me. I'm not gonna say who. I am about to put this on the t-shirt. I swear for God, I'm about to put this on the t-shirt. But this is listen, man. Some things are just better represented than said, and we all know what this is, and we all know what it's about. So, yeah, that's Jackson State fans in a nutshell. Just hey, you know what I'm saying? But this is definitely going on the shirt. No lie, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm putting this on the shirt. All right, so let's get back to these call lines. 0935 coming to you, sir. Hey, caller, you live.
What up, Scotty? What up, man?
What's goody?
Hey, my squad 2-0 this year. I don't hear you bragging about it, man. My school.
You said what? Say it again.
UAPB. I said UAPB 2-0 this year. I said you haven't said anything about it.
That's the most.
Give us any respect.
That's the phony. Phoniest.
You know both of y'all always talking shit about UAPB.
That is the phoniest. Listen, that's the phoniest. Okay, the phoniest 2-0 you'll ever get in your life. You're about to be 2-4 real quick.
Who did they play? Who did they play this week?
They play Oklahoma State.
Oh.
Yeah, they play Oklahoma State. Yeah, that's a 70-5 loss. So, you know, but no, Scotty, I was at the Southern Heritage Classic this weekend, and man, I was trying to get out there to see you, man, but I kept thinking it was going to rain, so I sit in the hotel room to basically 5 o'clock. Had to go out there fight traffic just to make it in. I think when I made it in, Tennessee was kicking the field goal, but I got to see the rest of the game. I think both teams played good. Tennessee, they was bending the whole game defensively, but they never broke. They made some incredible stops because Jackson State literally left like, I think 28 points I counted on the board. The 1-yard stop, even before the 1-yard stop to Shador, when he threw the ball to Hook, when he threw the pass to Hooks across the middle, and they made the perfect form tackle to stop him at the 1-inch yard line. Then you had 2 balls, the ball that was dropped by 81, Shador hit him right in the hand. And then you had the one, I was in the corner on the lower level, where number 4, he threw him the ball, and Dallas, I think his name Dallas Daniels, hit him right off the chest in the end zone wide open. And then another touchdown was called back. So I think Jackson State could have blown the game over, but the fact that Tennessee State continued to fight, I think they did a good job, and I think Eddie George is heading in the right direction. So, but Jackson State still showed me defensively they're dominant, but offensively, I was surprised, Scotty, that they didn't take more shots downfield.
I agree.
Tennessee was playing some tight man. They weren't playing any soft zone, any soft coverage. And Jackson State, for some reason, would not take shots downfield.
Well, they did.
Everything was short.
No, they did. They just didn't come up with them. I mean, they threw a couple shots to Kevin Coleman. He dropped some. They took shots with Shane Hooks. He dropped some. So they took their shots. It wasn't like no 40 or 50-yard bomb, but it was like 20 or 30 yards. That Shador, the one he put to Kevin Coleman in the back of the end zone definitely should have been a touchdown. I mean, he caught it like 3 times, like in his hands, in his stomach, on his feet, and then it popped out. So, I really thought Tennessee State should have took more shots down the field. I think you're asking a lot for a quarterback who took one shot early in the game, and then you try to take another shot late in the game to try to tie it up or to try to make a big play, and he overthrew. I mean, that guy straight burned Zay, and he was. I mean, like you can't. I was talking to a scout from the game. He said you can't miss that. Like that throw, you can't miss those type of throws. You know what I'm saying? So it was those opportunities. But other than that, man, anything else before I let you go?
Nah, Rick, one quick question. Y'all can answer this when I jump off. With him, I had 2 more things that I was going to talk about the branding real quick. But Deion, he punted twice inside of the 35. The first time he punted and went into the end zone, I think he got like a net 6 yards on that punt. And then the second punt, I was mad he punted because I felt they should have gone for it on like 4th and 4, but they actually downed it inside the 1-yard line. So it was a pretty good call. What do you think about that with him getting so conservative late down on that 30-yard line with a chance to potentially kick a field goal? Because you're still down up by 6 points. So Tennessee State could have done anything to score a touchdown, and you're down at this point. Like, do you think he was too conservative, or do you think he just didn't believe in the offense at that point?
I think
Go ahead, Cole. No, I just said
I think that Deion understands his defense. And, when you have the type of defense that you have, you pin a team back there inside the 10, that's an advantage for your defense. And you're looking for them to possibly get a turnover or flip the field, knowing that you're going to get the ball back again. So you can count on your defense getting stops. You can play conservative because you're not worried about the other team scoring.
Absolutely. Last thing real quick. I'll be quick, Scotty. With the Brandon deal, I will say this. I attended the HBCU, and I work at the railroad. Now, I've been at the railroad for 14 years, been in management fresh out of college. So I've moved like 8 times across the United States. And everywhere I go above the Dixon line, I'm out west now. I'm in Phoenix now. I've been out here like 6 months. everybody, they don't know when I tell them I went to UAPB, they don't know what UAPB is, but I'll say like, hey, the SWAC. You ever heard of the SWAC with Gremlin and stuff? Oh, yeah, you guys have the bands. You guys have this and that everywhere I go. I'm not saying we're a national brand. You're right about that. It's not a national brand. I feel like if we go for a TV deal, it should be regional because in the South, in the Mid-South and the Southeastern part of the United States, that's where you're going to get most of your ratings. But for some of these calls to call in and say we're just not known in certain areas, I mean, I've talked to white folks and everything, and they're like, oh, y'all heard of school? Yeah, Southern Grambling, they only know the big schools, you're right, or Howard or Hampton or something like that, but they wouldn't know a UAPB, they wouldn't know a Prairie View A&M, they wouldn't know probably a Texas Southern, but they would know like the big name schools and the bands and all that. So that's my call, man. Thanks for letting me cook this.
No problem. Let me explain something to y'all, right? When you meet the onesies and twosies, that is not everybody. Stop saying that, okay? If I walk out in Atlanta and I meet 5 people that say, oh, Scotty, I know Go-Go, I cannot say everybody in Atlanta listens to Go-Go, okay? Stop doing that. Stop taking the minute and making it the whole, right? You got a slice of people who understand. That's great. Congratulations. But that doesn't mean the entirety of people. Let's not do that, okay? Let's not do that, okay? Let's not. 73-48 coming to you. Timer is on.
I'm on?
Yeah, you're live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm Ray. I'm calling from Houston. I'm a Prairie View graduate.
Talk to me.
On this thing about, I really think black colleges, we don't have to, I see it, I know other people see it, we have a product, we have a good product with the band and the football teams. Why aren't we promoting stuff more like so we can have more Southern Heritage Classics each week? Yeah, I just don't get it. We shouldn't have to play these money games. I mean, one thing I did this year, I made sure I bought a season ticket to all Prairie View home games. I think more of us really need to start doing that, whether we're going to attend these games or not. We gotta get our schools out of situations where they have to play these money games.
That it's possible, right? It's possible, but you gotta have good business on the back end. If you're not playing, how are schools replacing that $500,000 that they're not playing these money games anymore? That's the question, right? How are they replacing these $400,000 checks that they're not getting anymore? That's the question. How do you fix that problem? Kofi, you got an answer?
It's layers to it. It's no like one answer. And that's really the thing. It's not necessarily complicated, but it's just the fact you have to peel back the layers that begins with our leadership first, especially at the top, because what happens in the presidential suite affects everything else, even if it's not, they don't have necessarily an athletic title. So,
but shouldn't the SWAC and the MEAC be taking more of a position on these things? And
if they knew what they were talking about, yes. But you're talking about people who barely even understand how to even negotiate stadiums, you know, how to get the right price for the stadium, you know, without overpaying. You don't know what you don't know, which is why it's necessary for us. And see, this is the thing about us. We love our own to the point that it cripples us. Get some white people that know what they're talking about. You know, get some Asians that know what they're doing. But because we got to hire Junebugs, Auntie and them down the street to fill this position, we do this in spite of the fact that they're incompetent. But these people are making decisions for the universities, for the conferences, and they end up crippling us for the long haul. And we sit by because we're not engaged at the level that we need to be engaged, and the same cycle of dysfunction continues to happen.
Okay.
All right, appreciate the time.
Scotty, I look forward to your critique on the Prairie View Abilene Christian game.
Oh, y'all lost. That's all I need. That's all I need. Y'all lost. All right, appreciate the call, man. Listen, I like what Mr. Campbell said, right? So it goes one or two ways. This is how you work in business, right? I'm learning it as I grow. You can either do it like this: you pay me $500,000 and you take care of my expenses, or you pay me $1 million and with that $1 million I take care of my own expenses. Something's got to give, because if you give me $700,000 or $800,000 and I still got to take care of my expenses, what might be $200,000 or $250,000, then that only leaving me with $600,000. So I'm back to where I started. So it actually helps you more if you're willing to take less and get your expenses paid. Or you can do it like Mr. D said, where you got a guaranteed $450 for the band and another guaranteed $300 for the football team, or however you want to break it down, something like that. So it's all depends on how you want to do it. 9840 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live. Talk to me.
What's going on, Scotty?
What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Dorian. I'm calling from Virginia Beach.
Gotcha.
So I'm calling because I just want to go down through the history, because the problem that we're talking about, like with HBCUs, this is not a new problem. And so because I'm a graduate of an HBCU, Jackson State University, I just kind of want to just take it back so that we can all understand how we got here. So HBCU stands for historically black, or universities or colleges, colleges and universities. So HBCUs weren't started by black people. That was actually started by white people, for black people, because we were segregated, couldn't go to white schools. So once integration happened, they took all the black talent, whether it been academics, whether it been athletes. And so since integration, literally HBCUs have been in survival mode. So when we talk about people not hiring, qualified people, well, they hired the only people that was available for the jobs during the time. And so you're talking about something that's been going on literally since before most of us that's on this line were born. And so what you have is a cycle that needs to be broken. So, Kaufman, when you talk about like we need to hire people that qualify, well, when you've been doing something for 50 years, that you've known that can work, I mean, how do you know to do something else? And so, I hear you guys saying that, HBCUs need to brand better. Well, I think because HBCUs don't have the budget like Power 5 schools or either, even just other non-Power 5 white schools, predominantly white schools, I think what HBCUs need is more creativity. Because let's be honest, our budget is just not, right now, it just doesn't compete. And so because our budget doesn't compete, I feel like HBCUs as a whole have just stopped trying to compete altogether. So, before Deion Sanders, we literally got, talent from hand-me-down places like junior colleges. We didn't recruit from high schools because we couldn't get the top talent. And so you have this broken mentality, all the way at the top of HBCUs.
Okay, so
hold on, I feel like, a lot of people that went to HBCUs
stop. So you're saying all this to say what? What is your solution? What are you trying to get to?
Okay, my point is, it's not helpful when you get on platforms like this and you bash HBCUs for not being worldwide known. I didn't
bash. Whoa! I didn't bash anybody for not being well known. I said you're not well known. That's all I said. I didn't bash you for not. I said you're bragging about something that you're not. That's not me bashing them that they're not. I'm just saying don't act like you are when you're not. That's something totally different. But continue.
All right. So what I was going to say after that, I feel like your platform actually brings more exposure to HBCUs. That's why my point was be mindful of what you're saying and how you're saying it, because you get to be a mouthpiece that somebody that may never have even heard of any HBCU, they're hearing it for the first time. And then look how we talk about each other.
I don't think, let me say this. I don't think that what Scotty said was necessarily negative. He's passionate. And so with the way that he says what he says, it comes across raw and uncut. But it we have a phrase that I like to use and live by. It just is what it is, and one of the things about us as HBCUs that keeps us from growing is that we want people to agree with us all the time, and we don't know how to disagree or how to engage in a conversation without getting emotionally distraught and upset if you understand the point, because we don't listen, So really, when it comes to the point, I can say this, like, I remember when we were playing a tennis match against the University of Pittsburgh, and our team was kicking. FAMU beat the University of Pittsburgh in tennis. And so this dude was like, I don't even know, like, this score, like FAMU, and he almost got killed. But FAMU, like, who in the world is that'll get you killed, especially as a white person on FAMU campus, even at a tennis match. Like, no, sir, it's FAMU. But just across the board, so many people don't even know how to pronounce that. Roland even messed that up a couple. It's not FAMU, it's FAMU. So understanding what that is, understanding who we are, and having people in the seats. See, my thing is, I don't care how long we've been doing it. The question is it working? If it's not working, change it. How long are we going to continue to be dysfunctional? We see it's not working. So we need somebody in that is going to be the decision maker for our brands and institutions that can help us to grow and increase the brand and take us where we need to go. This time window that we are in at HBCUs.
Hold on, Kofi. Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. What'd you say?
So my point is, do you think that's not happening? Because when I look at the SWAC media, they just launched their own app, broadcasting their own shows, their own games on their own platform. So I feel like we're taking steps in the right direction.
Who did that?
Are you guys not acknowledging that?
Who did that? Who did that?
SWAC.
When? Where? Show.
The SWAC commissioner.
Wait, no. What app is that? What is it called?
Let me find it.
What app are we talking about?
I'll pull it up now.
Yeah, please pull it up. I got time.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Stop.
I got time. I got time today.
And I appreciate your time.
Oh no, I get paid to be. I'm getting paid. I'm on the clock, baby. What you talking about? It ain't nothing to me. I'm waiting for this app. You didn't shock me.
OEHLTN.
Is it on iOS? Because I got Apple too. So if you want me to look at it, I can help. We can speed up the process. I got 460. All 460 people, please go to Apple iOS and look up SWAC so we can help them find it quicker.
Let's see. I think it's called SWAC Go. I'm trying to pull it up just to verify.
Yeah, are you on Apple or Android? Because I got an Apple. You on Apple?
I'm Android.
Oh, so yeah, we ain't even on the same app. We ain't even the same marketplace. That might be a SWAC market. So I don't know. But
Don't worry, I'll wait.
Man, I listen. Now, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, you know what I'm saying? But it's a long time to find an app. I mean, if you had the app, because you're talking about the app like you've used the app. So I'm just confused. Have you downloaded?
They did advertise the app, and I called myself downloading it. Now I can't find it.
You called yourself downloading.
But they have a SWAC digital network on their website. They do have a SWAC digital network.
Okay. So, but that's not what you said. You said an app. You didn't say nothing about a digital network.
Well, they did have an app. Now,
where
did they discontinue it?
You tell me. You called into my show talking about an app. How you gonna ask me? Did they discontinue it? I should be asking you if they discontinue it, sir. And you was so, and your bravado was so strong. The energy you was pushing was so strong, like you just used the app yesterday. And you trying to look for it.
HBCU go. It's HBCU league
That is
pass.
not that boy, you dumber than rocks. One of all, HBCU League Pass is not by the SWAC. That's number one. HBCU Go, it's not owned by the SWAC. It's owned by Byron Allen. Get off my line. Get off. You over here. You don't even know what you're talking about. What is we talking about? Get these Bama's off my line. Come on, man. What are we doing? 4089 coming to you. Live.
What's up, Scott? Hey, this is Coach Matt from Charlotte, North Carolina, man.
What's up, Coach?
Listen, let me see if I can break this thing down for a second. From my understanding, with everything that's going on with the whole Deion talking about the money for the games, and then HBCU schools as far as facilities and stuff, everybody has to understand we are so far behind. Things cannot happen overnight. Deion's only one person. If we really want to catch up, or at least try to put a dent into these Power 5 schools, what we really need to start doing is start reaching out to some of our biggest Black people, especially the ones that been to HBC schools, and get them to come join in and help us. You've got a woman like Oprah Winfrey who went to Tennessee State, who's a billionaire. You've got a man like Tyler Perry who's from New Orleans, who's in Atlanta, could easily come in and help set stuff up and get things on track. Absolutely. So that we can at least put a dent into these Power 5 schools. Then when you look at our culture as a whole, music industry, the arts, film industry, all that stuff, if we start getting some of our famous Black people come in and just help us, they ain't got to necessarily put major money up, but if they come in and say, hey, you got LeBron James who's donated money to FAMU and sponsor them. But if you take LeBron and he goes out and gets some of his other friends and say, hey, look, we come in here and all of us want to sponsor certain teams or certain HBC school basketball schools. You get a Dwayne Wade to grab a team like LeBron did. Then you get another guy like Carmelo, who's his friend, a CP3 who's from Winston-Salem, easily going with Salem State right now, could throw a little bit of money towards them. You got a J.R. Smith who's at A&T going to school, easily can throw money at A&T. And I'm not talking about billions or millions of dollars, but just something so these young kids will start seeing, because these kids are looking at TV, they're looking at these famous people. If they say, oh, LeBron is sponsoring FAMU, he's showing much love to FAMU, you know what? I'm going to go to FAMU. Then then you hold these guys accountable. You about the culture like a LeBron. You got a son named Bronny who's
50 seconds.
They call him one of the top athletes coming out.
Yeah.
Bronny don't need to go to Ohio State. Bronny, go to an HBC school, grab 2 or 3 of your homeboys, and let's go blow this thing up. Like the Fast 5 did for Michigan. Find a good HBC school that's got a great coach,
30 seconds.
Great culture, a great background, and then this thing as far as putting the dent in these Power 5s to change. So I appreciate it, man.
No problem. Appreciate it. Hey man, some people just gotta vent. Some people just gotta get it out. Some people just gotta get it out, man. And I'm glad. Listen, I'm glad I could be the channel that y'all call in and get it. Just get it out. You know what I'm saying? If it's been on your chest, it could be like, Scotty, I can't. What's that DL Hughley? FUDL. It could be a FU Scotty segment on here. You know, I don't care.
I think it's coming. I like that right there.
FU Scotty. Yeah. FU Scotty segment, man. It's okay. Listen, sometimes you just gotta get it out, man. Sometimes you just gotta get it out. 8735 coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
Scotty, I can't take it, brother. We gotta stop this waiting for the Black Messiah to come part the Red Sea to escort all the Negroes across. It ain't gonna happen. They not coming because our stuff not together. They not coming. LeBron and gave shoes and sponsored at FAMU. Look how they riding. That brother gonna come down and put his brand of excellence on the line? No. We got to stop that thinking. Our solutions are very, very simple. There are a ton of graduates that are computer science engineers, doctors, nurses, teachers, and they not even giving to their alumni. They not giving. And they not giving because they don't trust where the money goes. They're scared how the money going that's coming from the government.
Come on. Come on.
So you ain't going to burn my money up And y'all ain't even taking care of the government's money.
Come on. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? I work for my money. Government giving it to you for free, and you blowing that. Nah, yeah, I feel you on that one. I felt that in my spirit.
You ain't done an audit on all the vendors that's been vendors at the school for 100 years. You got janitors making more than professors. On the
Boy, you out here
Come
preaching.
on now, because your cousin need that job.
Boy, you preaching.
And your mistress need that other job. Come on now. We not stupid. But there are some simple solutions. We could literally use technology right now to alleviate that. You can use, and before everyone trip out on me, hey, I'm a tech accountant person. You could set up a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, so people can give their money and they can vote on where they want their money to go for the school and who the vendors are and how much they're getting paid. Open source right there in your face. And when you give, you receive updates. You receive tokens for events. You get notified. You get honored, etc. You get your recognition. I'll take $100,000, $20 a month for 20 years because Braun ain't gonna give you that every year. It's just not gonna happen.
Facts.
People think $50 million is a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. It's not. Them $20 every month from hundreds of thousands of people is worth way more. But you got to give them something, and you got to show that you're a good steward of what they're giving you. They don't want to get their eyes rolled up when they pull up and get and stuff, at an event. And then black people who are alum, we can't be showing up at the homecoming game to flex. Everybody there to flex.
Come on.
And ain't gave $20 the whole year to the alumni.
Come on.
Fund foundation, not $20. It's like a family reunion on your dating them side that you don't like. That ghetto. You don't want to go over there, but you're gonna show up to let them know you're doing good and leave. But you ain't really trying to mess with them. That's what we're doing out here. That's what we really doing. If we want to put it out there, that's what we're doing.
My God.
Hey, fellas, appreciate y'all.
Hey man, listen, appreciate you, bro.
Bars.
Hey, listen, hey, that boy was. Hey, y'all better reach out to Mr. Williams. He out here, that boy out here doing big things.
Bars.
Man. Hey, Mr. Williams, you need to text me. I might need some of those assistance on my steward my funds.
Yes.
All right, Lisa, last two callers, 9630 and anonymous. All right, last two callers, and we got up out of here. Hey, caller, you live.
Hey, Scott. Hey, Scotty Kofi.
What's up?
Covered a lot tonight. I don't want to see Little Mermaid black either. Just want to say that. I just want us to start coming up with our own stories, and I don't mind the diversity. I love the diversity. Just come up with our own stories, new stories. Don't try to redo that. It's kind of like what HBCUs are doing, right? They're trying to live off old brands. And today, what they doing, y'all are going through a rebranding period. You have people like me and never thought twice about a HBCU. So I was 40 years old. And now you got Deion, like him, dislike him, or whatever. He's giving you a chance to rebrand now. You got some different eyes on you. You need to be taking advantage of it. Whether you like what he says, you don't say, or whatever. He's giving you press that you hadn't had in 50 years.
I don't know about 50, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, not 50. I don't know enough about him, but I'm just saying you're not utilizing your rebranding period. Like the previous caller said, you have so much talent. You ain't utilizing them. You're not turning them into internship programs within your own schools in media, marketing, and stuff like that. Get those people involved, and then they can put that stuff on their resume and go work for other media companies that they have the talent. You're just not utilizing what's there. So I whether I like Deion or not half the time, he's bloviating or whatever. Fact of the matter is y'all were deaf to me until he came. So you better utilize it now. You better strike while the iron's hot, just like all them white people started having that white guilt and all that stuff when George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all that stuff happened. They started wanting to offer you money, this and this. No, we good. Y'all need to clean house. Like that other caller said, that's why LeBron and Oprah, y'all want them to give you money. I ain't giving y'all none of my money. Ain't no telling what you gonna do with it. You better clean house. Get that the people like the Larry Robinson look like he led the Hebrews across the Red Sea. Y'all need to get all them old people on out of there.
20
and
seconds.
Get some new blood in there. All right. That's all I got to say.
No problem. Appreciate the call. Ryan Powell, I got to give you the same critique, my boy. Just because you know about it doesn't mean everybody else knows about it. It goes both ways. So I agree with what you're saying, but just understand it does go both ways. So just because people didn't think, just because HBCU revolves around you doesn't mean it revolves around everybody else, and vice versa. So I can give you that on both sides. I hope you can understand as well on both sides. Kofi, you're upside down. You're upside down, Kofi. That boy's internet is trash. 6941 coming to you. Hey, caller, you live. $6941, you live.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, sorry, boy. What's up, Scotty? I called you in the past about my twins playing, but this is basically about those money games. And I know somebody have, some folks have issues and not. But the most people I'm hearing that have problems with the money games are grown-ups. The kids are not having an issue with them. They like them. They enjoy them. My boys played against the Razorbacks last year. They enjoyed the experience and enjoyed the whole atmosphere.
I bet.
One of the receivers that played for the Razorbacks got drafted by the Tennessee Titans. My son, who plays corner, he had 12 plays where he guarded the guy. The guy didn't score on him. The guy's great, but I'm just saying that's what my son took from that. He was like, Dad, I locked him down for 12 plays. So a lot of this, we shouldn't do these money games. It's grown folks mad about it. The kids are not. The kids want to play in them. They look at it as an opportunity to display their skills against Power 5 kids so they can show that they can play at that level in their mind. So I think we need to keep the money games because I look at it like this. When UAPB blow North American out 76-3, nobody was crying for the Division II team.
Definitely wasn't. Definitely wasn't.
So why do we cry about when we play Power 5? These kids in SWAC, they want to go to the NFL. You're going to have to play them same guys in the NFL. So why not get a shot at seeing what that's really like? Like I say, I understand that the alumni and some people that don't play, but if you ask every single kid that plays in these games, they will tell you they look forward to these games and they want to play in these games. So on that alone, that's my reason for not getting rid of it. Because every level plays down. We're going to cry about anybody getting blown out except for the SWAC teams and the FCS teams. All football. That's all I had to say, Scotty. I'm out.
Hey, no problem. Appreciate the call. I think that's an aspect that a lot of people don't take into consideration, that the kids want those matchups. The kids want to show that they can play on the Power 5 level. The kids want to, they want that tape against the scout. They want that tape for the guys, in the NFL to show that they can compete. Like I said, I keep using the example of Jacoby Durant. You hear it all the time. Anytime they talk about Jacoby Durant, they always talk about that Clemson game being the spotlight for Jacoby Durant, where he got on their radar for it to be drafted. You know what I'm saying? So let's not act like the power games do not come with some type of benefit for the student athlete. All right. Last caller, anonymous. It's either Smoke. It's probably Musa. Is this you, Musa?
Yeah.
What's up, Musa?
Yeah. What's up, man? I think the guy basically took what I was going to say. I think the money games is cool. Because if you have a breakout game, that could be your chance to get a shot at NFL.
Absolutely.
So, and plus it's marketing. Like, nobody really expects us to win, but if you get on that game, you ball out, or you show that you can be competitive, like FAMU did the first game. I think that can be a tool for kids that probably never heard of your school. So, I think it's more of a benefit than than the negative. I just think Deion is the goals or the trajectory that he's on. He's been very strategic about his school because he don't want to mess up that image that they got going of JSU being a powerhouse FCF. So I think he just needs to take that for his own team and not try to dictate that throughout the SWAC, because some schools probably don't feel the same way.
No,
but I had a question. What was the thing earlier about, were y'all talking about people don't know HBCUs in general or just the football?
He was just basically saying that the HBCU brand is not as big above the Mason-Dixon line as it is down south. That the crux of our influence is mostly below the Mason-Dixon line. And I would agree. Most of our fan base is in the South. Most of the popularity is in the South, below the Mason-Dixon line. Doesn't mean that we don't have fans. Obviously, in your major city, your major markets, your Chicagos, Detroits, most of them. But your smaller towns, many of them may not know about HBCUs like they know about the national brands. And that's okay. My point is, whoever's doing the negotiating for our HBCUs needs to negotiate a higher amount, especially when we play the Power Fives.
Well, I would say that, I'm from the East Coast, so I would say that I think it's because the way it started, like somebody was talking about, like a lot of Black people roots is down south. So I think most of us have a knowledge of the HBCUs down south. They're more like of affinity, but I would say more people from up north have affinity for down south schools than schools like Delaware State. Like, you don't hear too many people from the South talking about East Coast or North HBCUs. So I would say the South HBCUs definitely have a stronghold, at least with Black people. But I would say that they're I would say that probably the top three, Grambling, Southern, and maybe FAMU, are just as known as mid-majors.
I can dig it.
That's just my opinion, but that's the way I see it. All right, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm punching out.
Hey, appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
I'm not even about to.
Goodbye.
I'm not about to circle the wagon on that. It's 10:20. Like, I'm not even about to get myself all worked up again. All right, Kofi. Anything you got going for the week? What's going on in the ONG strike zone?
Oh, actually, man, we're talking about obviously the game. We got the AD search that's coming down the home stretch. And that's a big deal at FAMU. And we're going to have the volleyball coach on and maybe a football coach or player or two. So looking forward to the show on this week. It's going to be power packed.
That's good. Listen, tomorrow I'm going to try to get some Grambling film breakdowns about the matchup.
Let's go.
Probably do some stuff with Southern and Texas Southern as well. Do some matchups with that. And hopefully I can get that all put together. Other than that, Wednesday, I got to talk to Mike and see what we're going to do with the show. If we're going to do it in the midday or afternoon, and might move the roundtable to Thursday. It's all up in the air still, so we'll see how that goes going on to the week. All right, but listen, guys, I appreciate all y'all, all 437 of you guys. Make sure you like the stream. And listen, nobody get no text Coach O shirt. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool, but ain't nobody getting that. All right, be very mindful. Be on the lookout for this shirt. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm putting it on a T-shirt. Best believe. I don't give a damn what Deion says. I'm putting it on a T-shirt. All right, so what was I about to say? I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah, don't come on my channel talk about some Scotty, are you showing the JSU and Grant? I'm not. It is not my game of the week. I'm doing a watch party for Texas Southern and Southern. Do you understand me? All right. So go to all the other little JSU channels that y'all love to talk about. All right. So listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.